Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be checking out these new updates with Division Rivals and the Weekend League because now they actually have the pitch notes. I wanted to read them, and I also wanted to give my thoughts in regards to Division Rivals. I'll do this in a calm manner, because I already did videos about this topic, right? And frustrations build up. So I'm just gonna try to make this video as calmly as I possibly can. But if I go off the rails later, you guys kind of get it, okay? Okay. So pitch notes: extended redemption window for weekend league. I think my friend told me about this earlier today. He was playing FIFA, and he told me that EA have added a system where you can qualify for Futchamps even as it's starting now, which is something that should have been a thing in the beginning. Again, because you should be able to play it whenever you get the points, but it's good that they finally added it. Hey, FIFA fans, we have just made a change to the registration process for the weekend league. We wanted to go both. Wow, I can't speak English right now. We wanted to both go over this change as well as review the other changes that have happened in the space in FIFA 19. Okay. The story so far. With the introduction of FUT Champions Points method of qualification for the Weekend League, one of the benefits of the new system was that players now had the ability to choose when they wanted to play in the Weekend League. This gave players, especially those that were not playing every single Weekend League, the ability to store their FUT Champions Points until they were able to actually use them and use them the most effectively. One of the side effects of that choice, however, was that entry into the Weekend League now required that a player go and take an action in-game before the start of the Weekend League, or they would not be able to take part in the competition. We heard from our community that while the ability to choose when to use the points was appreciated, that the process of redeeming FUT Champions points prior to the start of the Weekend League was at times challenging, especially in situations where FUT Champions points were being rewarded as part of Weekend League rewards. Leaving a sometimes small window of time to claim the rewards and register for the weekend league before it started. To improve that process for our players, we have made a couple of changes already in FIFA 19. First, we moved the targeted weekend league reward distribution time earlier by a number of hours to increase the amount of time that players had to claim their rewards ahead of the start of the next weekend league. We also updated FUT Web and the FUT 19 companion app to enable redeeming FUT Champions points on those platforms so that players didn't need to go to their console or PC in order to register for the weekend league. So this is a very good update. I especially like that thing where you can redeem access to Futchamps through mobile, so that's a good change as well. What is changing? Today I want to go over another change that has been made, which is the introduction of an extended redemption window for Weekend League. This will now allow a player to redeem their FUT Champions points for access to an active Weekend League competition for up to 24 hours at the start of the Weekend League. Players will be able to redeem their FUT Champions points during the extended redemption window, both in-game and via FUT. Okay. Redemption window. We hope that this change will make it easier for players to ensure that they can take part in the Weekend League. Okay, so this is a good update for the Weekend League. In regards to pitch notes. Now, the next pitch notes is in regards to Division Rivals player distribution changes. Okay, so this is the main one right here, I think, right? And they kind of went into depth with this, so I am interested in reading this. Division Rivals overview. When we launched FIFA 19, we were excited to bring out about a fundamental change to the way our FUT core. Cool. What is changing? On March 27th, when the weekly competition ends and the next event starts, we will be adjusting the skill rating requirements of various divisions, meaning that some players will be promoted to a new division as a result of the changes. So the result of the changes is this. I'm going to zoom in right for you guys right here. Right? So if you're in Division 1, the old way was 2400, the old way for Division 2, 2200, blah, blah, blah. It went to 1900, 1700, 1500, 1250, correct? And then they're saying, why are we making these changes? They said, when looking at the data regarding the number of players currently within each division, we can see that there is a higher percentage of players clustered together in Division 4 and 7, right? So you can see here that the blue line represents what the player base was before, and the red line or the red graph will demonstrate what the player was after the change. So it's like I always told you guys, right? The reason why people like Division Rivals and they like the system of Division Rivals before is because the average player base, and I'm going to see this from different points of view, okay? The average player base was around Division 6, 5, around that Division 5. That's the division I always used to mention to people. And I mentioned this a couple of days on the stream, that the reason why people like this game a lot more this year is when they are in Division 5, right? That was my number that I used, right? Division 5. Now with their change, they made it so that with the red line, you could see that it's more sporadic, right? And obviously, you can get better rewards now because it's more sporadic. You would go higher in the divisions because instead of you needing 2400 skill rating, you now require 1900 skill rating, right? Balance blah 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 summary trained to be a positive one towards around no matter your skill mate. So this is the important thing, so, right? Because this is the thing I need to make this video again to clarify for the last video. No matter your skill rating, and that changes lead to the changes lead to a more enjoyable experience. We are constantly okay. So I probably skipped past this, but essentially the skill rating that you have right now, the matchmaking that you will encounter is going to be the exact same as it was before. So if you are a 2400 player, you'll match up as you did before, right? If you're a 1900 player, you'll match up as you did before. The only difference that EA has created is that they have given, I guess, lower tier players a better option to get better rewards. They're not significantly good rewards, but they've given a better option. Now, my thoughts towards this whole situation, right? Because I want to get this stuff on Futbin, because I think Futbin actually gives you the rundown of rewards. So with Futbin, right, you can see right here that in the pitch notes right here, we're gonna just zoom into this, right? Your old minimum would be 2400 Division 1, blah blah blah, right? So now, if you're in Division 1, you will get the same rewards, right? So Division 1 nowadays is 1900. 1900 before, I think, used to be like Division 3 or something, right? So, you know, if you were like nowadays, if you're in Division 3, you can get 70k coins, 2 rare mega packs, 2 rare Electrum players packs, blah blah blah, right? And then because this patch is really, it's catering to the average player of the game, right? Because the average player is obviously like mostly over here, right? So they're catering to that average player so that they can have more people consistently playing the game. Now, there's different ways of looking at this, right? Have people gone to Division 6 and 5 before and stopped playing, or have they continuously played? Because the number of players currently within each division. So I don't know if that's active players or if that's consistent players, because there's a big difference. Because people who play the game this year, regular video game people, right? A lot of them, when they first touched this game, they went to like Division 5, 4, 6, whatever it was, and then they stopped playing. So I need to know if this is like a generic thing for an active player base, or just the average in general from players that are also inactive, right? Because the situation that I want to bring up, right, is that, is this good? Is this good for the average community of the game? It is, because going up to 1900, if you're 1900 or below, it's great. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be playing FIFA consistently, and you're going to be getting decent rewards up until that 1900 point. Because to be honest with you guys, a 1900 skill rating with those rewards, right, 80k, is pretty fun. 1900 for 80k and those two pack rewards is actually not that bad. Here's the problem with this update, okay? What do you do after 1900? Because you also have the player base, right, that also consistently plays your game in those higher divisions, right? And you could tell by the graph that there's not a lot. There's not a lot of people in Division 1, 2, or 3, right? 3, that's where there's a kind of like a little bit higher, but 2 and 1, that's like a little bit more specific. But the problem is now, right, is that when you look at these rewards, right, and you're in 1900, understand this point of view, because this is what I missed the last time. Because the skill rating matchmaking has remained the exact same, after you reach 2100 or above, the game mode kind of becomes bullshit. And I'll tell you guys why, right? I think the way that they could have made this update good or better is if they also created another tier for what their Division 1 was before. So you would have your tiers where it's Division 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is great. Great. It's a great update to the game. These rewards are really nice up until the 1900. Okay? It's good. I'm not going to say it's bad because it's not. It's good up until the 1900. When you get past that 2100 though, this reward is unacceptable. Okay? Because you guys need to understand, because the matchmaking is the exact same, if you are a 2400 player, right? And someone is a 1950, 1970, 2000 skill rating player, right? Let's just say you're 2500, 2600, right? You are going to be facing a harder caliber of players for the same rewards as someone who is around 500 skill rating less than you. And that doesn't make any sense. Like I said, this is a good update up until the 1900 point, right? The 1900 point is good. But after that, after the 2100, because even up to 2100, not bad as well. But after that 2100, once you hit the 23s, the 24s, it becomes really stupid, right? Because it makes no sense that someone who can have literally 600 skill rating less than you, 500 skill rating less than you, and they're getting the same rewards than you, and they're facing lower caliber. I do the quote unquote because the gameplay is garbage in this game. Lower caliber players, right, in those divisions. So that's the point that I wanted to bring up when I talk about these things for division rivals. Because in the last video, my initial thought was, oh, in Division 1 right now, I'm going to be facing Division 1 players. So the matchmaking might be more broad, right? So it's not going to be every single time sweaty people, right? I'm okay facing sweaty people every time with division rivals as it is right now, with a casual mode on the side. I'm okay with that being a separate mode and then a casual mode on the side. But you have to understand that 80k is great up until 1900. I got to keep repeating these stuff because I always see people in the comments that still don't listen to those specific things I say. So that's why I repeat myself, okay? Think of this for a second. 80k coins, right? Back in the day, in Division 1 for FIFA 15, you know your boy had like over like 4,000 matches, something crazy. It would have been way more nowadays, especially if I wanted to stream consistently and whatever, right? But let's just say, for instance, I played Division 1 back in the day. You get 80k coins off playing a full week of FIFA. If I won one Division 1, and back in the older FIFAs, I would make 19, 20k every single time I won Division 1, because you're also getting the game rewards, right? So it depends what it is, 450, 500, whatever it is, right? You have to win 8 of those games. So it might equate up to it might equate up to like around 4,000, and then the 15k is from the Division 1 itself, right? 15k wasn't enough. At some point, it had to be improved to 20k because there's so many cards in the game, right? There's so many cards you want to collect. You don't want to have to sell and buy players all the time. You want to keep players so that when you use one team, you're like, oh, I'm bored of this team. I want to use this team, right? So 80k coins is a joke because imagine this. In 5 days, I could have made 100k from winning one Division 1 every single day. And that's off playing 8 games. You could play 8 games in like 3 hours. A 3-hour session, you could play 8 games and win Division 1 and get 20k off of gameplay, which, again, back in the day wasn't enough. But it's even worse now, right? Because in 5 days, I could have made 100k. But this is a full week of rewards. In this year's game, when I did play Division Rivals consistently, which was in the beginning only, I got Division 1 Rank 1, right? But I got the pack rewards because I'm like, 80k is not enough. Like, I need to get better rewards. One time from getting Rank 3, right? One time from getting Rank 3, I got rare players pack in a mega pack. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to open it for the Rank 3 rewards. When I opened it for the Rank 3 rewards, I got lucky and I got Mohamed Salah and Azpilicueta. Mohamed Salah back in the day was 300k. Azpilicueta was like 40, 50k. So I was like, holy crap, like that's a really good amount of money for a full week of grinding the game, because 300 and something k is one player, guys. Okay? It's one player. you release so many flashback cards, so many of these untradeable cards that it needs to be possible for you to get through gameplay. It shouldn't have to be a thing, because the reason why I always stress out the gameplay content thing is because if you sit in the menus and you're good with the market, you can make more money than you can actually playing the game. And that's just like, that's fine because you're good with the market, but it needs to be hand in hand. It can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna make peanuts for actually playing the game, but I'll be making more when I actually just sit in the menu and never play the game and just collect the cards, right? So I was able to make 100K in 5 days if I played consistently every single day, right? Now you only make 80K. People are going to bring up the fact, oh, but Futchamps is a thing, right? Of course, Futchamps is a thing, but Futchamps is stressful. Division Rivals is stressful, right? There's no balance between both the game modes. If Division Rivals was by itself a game mode, and then you had online tournament mode on the side where you got, pretty good rewards for playing the online tournament mode, but you got better rewards for playing Division Rivals, that's a better balance. Because how many times do you guys play Futchamps? You lose a game and you just feel like shit. A video game makes you feel like shit. If you lose in Division Rivals, yeah, it makes you feel like shit, but you're still gaining the rank points. These rank points right here is what you're playing for, right? If you lose, no other video game concept has that. You're still getting those rank points. It just doesn't make sense that you can have 500, 600, 700 skill rating difference for Division Rivals for your only regular game mode and get the same rewards as someone at 1900. It doesn't make any sense. I get it. We're not the big part of the community. The big part of the community is the people in Division 5 and stuff, and now they're in Division 3 or whatever it is that they're in, right? I get that. But you could have made an extra tier. It's possible for you to do that because the skill rating is way too big for us to be getting the same rewards as someone who's at 2,000 when we are at like 2,500, 2,600, 2,400. I would say a nice drop off would be 2,400 because that's a 500 skill rating difference. Like in Overwatch, 2,500, 3,000, 3,500, 4,000. I think they have 4,500. I don't know 100%, but I know that they have top 500 because it makes sense. That system makes sense. You're not just going to stop at 3,000 or 3,500 even, and then not have 4,000 in top 500. Do you guys get what I'm saying? That concept doesn't really make any sense. So I think the corner rewards are really bad after the 1900. Really got to stress that. After the 1900, it's really terrible. For a 2,400 skill rating, I'm facing harder opposition than someone who's at a 2,000 skill rating. And you're making us get the same rewards because he gets Division 1 rank 1. Division 1 doesn't carry as much value as it did before now because it's 1900. 1900 was Division 3 before, right? So that was just my point of view now. Just wanted to give it. I hope I didn't forget anything. I know that some people are going to bring up certain things in the comment section, but I can't really think of anything else in regards to rewards in the current format. I do like that update with Futchamps though. Very, very good update. I'm not going to say it's not a good update because it's definitely a very, very good update. The fact that I can qualify for it now after it's begun is really, really important. But that's my thoughts on Division Rivals. I hope it doesn't stay like that. Because if next year rolls around and you get back into like 2,200, which happened in the beginning of the year, I got to 2,100 in the beginning of the year. What the hell am I supposed to do after that? I'm going to always have that concept at the back of my mind that, yo, I'm going to get higher. I'm going to face harder opposition for the same rewards I'm getting now. It doesn't sit well, you know? I get why this update was created because you want to cater to the general population of your game. I don't know if they're active players or not, right? But you want to cater to the general population of your game. But you had to create another tier, a diamond tier at 2,400, 2,500, at least one tier. If you created one tier, wouldn't be talking about these things, right? And then from that one tier, you can get like 110K. 110K is not a lot because there's so many cards to get in this game, okay? 110K and then the packs could have been way better too. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.